Nightwolf is pretty good, but I got some issues with Nightwolf. For starters, I think Nightwolf is a good character. That's how I want to start this. I think Nightwolf is good. He's actually very good, I think. He has a tomahawk move where he swipes up in the air. And if you amplify the tomahawk move, in the middle of the screen, you can combo. Great. However, off of many strings, especially in the corner, when you do the tomahawk into the amplify, it doesn't combo unless you do the tomahawk and then delay the amplify. Why you have to delay the amplify, I have no idea. But it's very inconsistent off which strings it works and which strings it doesn't work. It's something that you can deal with as a player, but it's annoying. The other thing is his tackle as a combo ender. You know, if you think about Nightwolf and MK, classically, he always has the tackle. That's like his main move. The tackle has a really weird hitbox vertically. So when he tackles, it doesn't actually hit very high up, especially when people are being juggled. So like when you do combos with him, you have to delay the move so that they're low to the ground in the juggle so that the tackle hits. So he has issues where his tomahawk amplify doesn't combo if you don't delay it, and his tackle needs to be done very low to the ground or it doesn't combo off of stuff. Yeah, that's another thing. His best whiff punish string, forward 1-2, is like a forward advancing double tomahawk swipe. When he does fatal blow after, he leans back so far that the fatal blow just misses. All these quality of life issues that make me sad. But then when I think about the character design, I really wish that they had switched some things around. The 2 tournament variations we have, he has the tomahawk in variation 1, and he has Kibo, which is a wolf. It gives him a damage buff when he when he does it. It's cool. And then in the other variation, he has a command throw, some extra strings that he has that have like throws in them that are pretty cool. They're like hit throws, not command throws. And he has a teleport on his projectile reflect, which is also cool. But the thing for me is that like Kiba, the damage buff, seems like it should be in the command throw variation, because the command throw variation has the command throw does less damage than a regular throw. It does 120 and a regular throw is 140. And the command throw does 120 and the amplify on the command throw gives you extra knockdown frames. To me, it seems like so that you can set up Oki. If you're going to make it so that the command throw doesn't do a lot of damage, but the amplify version gives you additional frames for a knockdown, I think you should just make the command throw variation have the buffs from the animals. So that the whole point of this variation is land and amplify command throw, get knockdown time, and when you amplify, you get extra time to knock you down. Then you take the wolf buff, which gives you extra damage, or you take the bear buff, which gives you whatever, or you take the hawk buff, or whatever it is. I think like being able to get a guaranteed wolf buff so that the rest of his command throws do a lot would be really cool. And then in the other variation, I think you remove the wolf and you give him an additional zoning tool or something, or you give him another special move for like plus frames or whatever. I think you give him the lightning drop he has. He has a call lightning move. So you give him the lightning drop, or you give him the mid lightning arrow he has, or he has a straight arrow. Give him a ducking arrow that ducks under highs, you know? Like I said, I think the character is very good. Despite this, I think the character is very good. But I still wish that the variations were designed a little differently. But because they're not, those tournament variations are the variations you'll play. I wish custom variations could be in tournament a little better. Because the thing about Mortal Kombat is like, I think it did a lot of things right. I think MK is a really, really good game. I think the meter system that they have is one of the best ways that I've seen anybody pivot from a traditional meter system to something cooldown related or something different than a non-traditional meter system. I think they nailed it. The offensive and defensive meters are simple to understand. They're tied to things that make sense. They recover. They feel like, you know, you're spending them on something you're getting a lot out of, just like I'm getting out a lot of these 7 months from Cairo 2354. The game netcode is great. I think the game feels good when you play it, especially now that they fixed some of the issues with highs. But my big issue is with the variations currently. And I think, like, I really want them to make the variations easier to customize so that we're not locked into the current variations and it gives some player creativity to that. It's too bad because I think they did a lot of things right. I really like MK11. I think it's a great game. And the netcode is awesome. The netcode's great. So I can't complain too much. They could make it so that customizing variations in tournament are easy and custom variations in tournament would be great if they wanted to do that. I think NRS is one of those companies that could do it. NRS, A, listens to their fans very well. And B, if something comes up that is not like that beneficial for them to do, but people really want it, they'll probably do it. They're that kind of company. They're that kind of company that rebuilt the game to allow for better netcode back in MKX when they had no reason to, you know? They had no reason to go back and do that, but they wanted to like do it and prove that they should do it. And then now the netcode has been great in all their games. I fucking love NRS. They do a great job with that stuff. So that's why I really want them to do something with the custom variations to make it a little easier to adjust for tournament so that we can have other versions of this. But, you know, we're stuck with the variations we have, which is not the end of the world, but it could be cooler than it is, I think, you know. In old NRS games, a lot of the mids would leave the plus frames and stuff. In this game, most of the mids just keep you safe, most of the time. And so that's why mids that can stagger and mids that don't leave you super negative are extremely powerful, especially when they're fast. It's not how mids were usually working before. It felt like your mids and stuff led to more aggressive and dominant options that were like really powerful. And if they want to shift away from that, that's fine. Yeah, I think most of the buffs they went for were pretty good. And I think that them adjusting the pokes was also a great choice. You really needed to make sure the pokes feel good. The pokes are like so central to NRS games that them feeling good and working correctly is super important, right? As important as people like Grey Noir who are dropping the 2-month sub with Twitch Prime. Thanks very much. I think you should just give more characters strong mids to contest with after pokes. That also helps with the situation of the pokes being extremely powerful, like mashing down one and everything is super good. Fast, powerful mids that you can hit confirm are super good in NRS games. They always have been, and if you take away a lot of them from other characters, then the characters who do have them will be as powerful as someone like Grave Wolf, who dropped the 3-month Twitch Prime. Thanks very much.